Professional athletes celebrating major achievements is nothing new, but what happened in an Indianapolis hotel room after Tyrrell Hatton secured his spot on Europe's Ryder Cup squad will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about elite sports celebrations. The English golfer recently opened up about a night of revelry that went so spectacularly wrong, he literally woke up swimming in his own vomit. And here's where it gets controversial. Should we be celebrating or condemning this level of celebration from our sporting heroes? Hatton's qualification for the prestigious Ryder Cup team triggered what can only be described as an epic bender, alongside fellow European team member Jon Rahm. The duo's alcohol-fueled festivities in Indiana became the stuff of legend, though perhaps not for the reasons you'd expect from world-class athletes. I found myself frantically trying to make the hotel room somewhat presentable before my departure, Hatton confessed during his media appearance at Wentworth for the PGA Championship. The aftermath was so dire that he had to completely strip the betting, leave cash compensation, and pen an apologetic note reading, "Deeply sorry, I was violently ill in the bed during the night. Please dispose of everything." But here's where the story takes an even more shocking turn. When pressed about his joy over automatically qualifying for the Ryder Cup without requiring a captain's selection, Hatton delivered a blow-by-blow account that would make even the most seasoned partygoer wince. The celebration unfolded following LIV Golf's tournament conclusion in Indiana, where Europe's captain Luke Donald had personally contacted Hatton to confirm his automatic qualification. For context, Hatton's recent switch to the controversial LIV Golf Series had significantly complicated his path to Ryder Cup qualification, making this achievement even more meaningful. Upon returning to my hotel room, I collapsed sideways across the bed and immediately passed out face first in that exact position. Hatton recounted with brutal honesty. I subsequently woke myself up by vomiting while still in that prone position, then somehow managed to fall back asleep again. When I finally came to properly, I discovered vomit covering both my arms, saturating my shirt completely. The nightmare wasn't over. I stumbled to the bathroom mirror and was horrified to find vomit coating my face and entangled in my beard. How I managed to set an alarm for a flight just hours later remains a complete mystery. I genuinely never want to reach that level of intoxication again. And this is the part most people miss. The sheer volume and variety of alcohol consumed that night reads like a masterclass in how not to celebrate. Hatton systematically violated every rule about responsible drinking, starting with 6 full glasses of wine during dinner. This was followed by a double gin and tonic, consumed at what he described as a perfectly normal pace. Then, Jon Rahm made a fateful decision. Jon suggested Disaronno sours, and I enthusiastically agreed. "Those cocktails are deceptively smooth," Hatton explained. "That's when I initiated a drinking game where everyone had to down their cocktails like shots." The alcohol inventory continued spiraling. Multiple hazelnut sours when the Disaronno ran dry, margaritas, and something called a strawberry vodka concoction. The entire experience was absolutely brutal and frankly disgusting, Hatton admitted. The golfer even confessed to falling asleep at the table before being awakened to discover everyone else had abandoned the scene, leaving him alone with his poor decisions. This revelation naturally raises a provocative question. If Europe successfully defends the Ryder Cup at Bethpage this month, what condition might we expect Hatton to be in during the victory celebrations? I'd optimistically assume we'd celebrate with considerable enthusiasm. "And there's a strong probability I'll be vomiting again," he said with refreshing candor. "Hopefully this time I won't pass out and can actually enjoy most of the evening with my teammates." The timing of these revelations is particularly interesting, as Hatton is paired with Bob McIntyre for the opening 2 rounds at Wentworth, potentially foreshadowing their partnership at the upcoming Ryder Cup at Speaking of Bethpage, Hatton diplomatically sidestepped questions about potentially hostile New York crowds affecting the European team's performance. "I haven't personally experienced that atmosphere yet, so I can't offer meaningful commentary. I'm choosing to believe the fans will remain respectful and will adapt accordingly," he stated, seemingly following a coordinated European team messaging strategy. But here's what's really controversial about this entire situation. In an era where professional athletes are increasingly viewed as role models and held to impossibly high standards, should we be applauding Hatton's brutal honesty about his drinking, or should we be concerned about the message this sends? Is this simply a refreshing glimpse behind the curtain of professional sports, showing that elite athletes are human beings who sometimes celebrate too hard? Or does this represent a troubling normalization of excessive drinking culture in professional golf? What's your take? Should professional athletes be more careful about their public celebrations, or do we need more of this raw, unfiltered honesty in sports? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you team let athletes be human, or team higher standards for role models?